and the ranking of it. And we have the same thing. We have our own search engine and our own programming too that will figure that data out for you and how to rank it and rate it. But the most important thing out of this slide in here that I'm trying to get across is that Alcove9 uses a simple and recognizable Google-like search that I'll show you that in here in the demo. Now, before I do that, I want to go over some basic premise of our solution. The data that you deal with on a daily basis, it could be anywhere within the development cycle of your product. It could be in the requirements, it could be in the design stage, it could be in the sourcing or the manufacturing and building, or even after the build in the support stage. And throughout that life cycle of the development, of the product development, you probably hit multiple silos of data. It could be a requirement management, it could be CAD, it could be some ERP, enterprise resource management, and some kind of MRO, maintenance, repair, and overhaul. It could be a PDM or a PLM, product lifecycle management system. All of these are proprietary databases, or it could be like that last one on the very bottom, a file system. Maybe you do not have any of those proprietary databases and you put everything in some kind of shared network drive that everybody hits at any moment to find their data, which becomes actually a little more complicated because you all probably have gone through and navigated through different folders and subfolders trying to find out where things are, or if somebody had worked on it, not yourself, it becomes even harder because you don't know what their filing system is. So the typical way that people are used to finding data is if you have these people in here in different organizations or departments within your company, each one will be probably hitting a different system. They have their own login. They go into these different repositories to find data. Some people in here, they have access to some systems, but not everything. And some people that might not know where that data resides. So what they end up doing, like this lady in the pink dress there, she's tapping the other guy's shoulder to find out where the information is because she's not familiar with the system and where it's at. Right? The problem gets compounded when somebody working for you or working within the organization ends up leaving the company. And if they do, then trying to find something in their system or something that they worked on but put it even in the shared network, it becomes a very hard task. The Alcove9 way of finding things it's really a paradigm shift because now you do not have to think about where you put the data. The same people that were looking for information, they go through a front end. It's a browser-based system that we have developed. And in the background, we developed connectors that connect to all proprietary databases or silos or even just flat files in file systems in Windows or on your server that we can go and mine that data. And when we mine that data, we index it, we make it available for you, and it's quick. And the reason that we can return the data for you in 2 seconds is because we have indexed it and we have developed a way to get to it very quickly. So how does the 2-second search work? Just like you saw on Google, we have the interface that you see on the bottom left-hand corner of the screen there. It's very intuitive. The user types in what they're looking for. In this particular example that I'm showing on the screen, the user types in AZ-PT1234 in the Alcove9 interface, and within seconds, the system returns all matches for you. Notice that the first 3 examples that we're showing up on top there, the drawing, the PDF file, and the JPEG, they all had that particular expression right in the file name. But number 4 there, the PowerPoint presentation, does not have that expression in it. It actually, that expression exists inside that presentation. Same thing with that Word document specification 27 toward the bottom. So any type of match, not necessarily in the attributes, but we go beyond file names and attributes. We go inside the content and index the entire content for you, thus finding data related to your project very quickly. So the product demo we're going to show in here has 3 parts to it. So I'm going to show you the first part, which is the search engine, the indexing, and the user interface itself, and how we can find and view flat files. The second part is if it happens to be a CAD file that we found, we can view 15 different CAD formats all in one viewer that we have built in. Inside that viewer, you can dimension, you can mark up, you can cut sections, and analyze that particular CAD file that you have found. And for those of you on the call that have the AutoCAD, in the third part of this demo, we can show you how you can, how we provided our solution inside AutoCAD. So we can take our solution and embed it inside certain application that you use maybe predominantly to allow you to find data from within that application as well. Okay, so with that, I'm going to switch to our interface in here. This is a web browser. This happens to be Firefox that I'm using in here, but it can be used, our solution can be used with all the standard ones. You can use it with Internet Explorer, you can use it with Chrome from Google, or you can use it with Safari from Apple. So, so we can be on a mobile. If your company happens to have a mobile type technology where you need to retrieve data on a mobile device like an iPad or an iPhone even, we could do that as well. So what you see in here first is a login screen. The reason that we have a login screen before you enter our application is security. We value the security that you have implemented within your company. So whatever security system you have, we adopt it. We do not create a separate layer for it. We just use what you have. For example, if you're using an Active Directory and a single sign-on in your company, once you sign into Windows, it knows exactly who you are. We in our application or product suite in here, Alcove9, we authenticate you right away if you have single sign-on turned on. If you don't, you can just simply log in here, and after you get authenticated, you will be logged into the application. Let me just now also. You have some of those proprietary systems that I was showing. They also have their own logged-in system. So let's say, for example, you're using a PDM system like the Vault, or you're using something like Innovia or Teamcenter, or any ERP system like SAP, for example. Those have their own security system, right? And so we inherit their security settings, and we mash it up on top of the data that we find, so that that security schema or that access control list is preserved in our Alcove9 suite of products as well. So when you first log in, this is the screen that you'll see. It's a simple interface. As I said earlier, you can right away figure out what you need to do. Let me just go a little bit over the different parts of this screen. As you can imagine, this is where you put in your search string and what you're looking for. These buttons here on the far left are how you want your display to look like. You can choose this display in here where you have the thumbnail of the document, the name of the document, and some attributes that you can select which ones you want to show for the document. Like, for example, I wanted a summary of what shows up, the author, and maybe a date. You could change that in your preferences in here. I'll show you in a second how you could do that. Or you can just specify that I want a display in here that does not have any pictures. I just want the text. You could do that. Or you could do it in a way where I want it in a tabulated type form. So I'll show thumbnails in here, title over here, date, size, and some actions that I can take on that particular document. So you can show it that way, or you can show it even as a what we call a gallery in here, where it just shows the document as thumbnails in a grid-like. The next one over in here is a sorting type option or selection. You can sort it by relevance, by ascending or descending date or size. You can export that result in here to Excel, and so you can pull it up in Excel and look at the list of the results that you found in the different documents. Let's say, for example, you're doing some cleanup, or you found certain documents that are associated with a project, and you found all these documents, and there were 150 of them. So you can dump that into an Excel sheet, so you can do some further work on it if you'd like. You can, in the preferences in here, you can specify what you want to display. We have multiple languages that we can display in it, in English and French. You can search in multiple languages, all the way from Arabic to Spanish to German, French, Dutch, and some of the Far Eastern Asian languages like Chinese and Japanese as well. Some other settings that you have in here, you could display what kind of fields you want to show. You can display what the different parameters are for exporting the data and for refining your search, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Let me go back to this display in here that shows a little bit of the summary and different attributes. And let's say, for example, I wanted to search on something. Let me show a search on the word power. So if you type that in, notice that it found the word power in here in the title of this document. This document happened to be a Microsoft Word. Found a PDF document also in the title. We found this inside the presentation itself. If you look down here at some other documents, you can see some are highlighted within the document itself, or its attributes, or within the title. Right. So if you would like to bring that document up and start working on it, you can do it right from within this interface in here without having to go to any other interface. If I want to go to this order page, for example, here, all I have to do is hit a preview or a download button, depending on what you want to do. If you download this PDF, for example, it goes, depends on what you have on your computer, it goes in and downloads. I'm sorry, this wasn't PDF, this was a Microsoft Word. So it brings up that particular document so you can work on it, make some changes to it, or whatever the case might be. Let me try another search in here. Let me show you another capability of the search also. Let's say that you want to search for the word engineer. If you type that in, it goes in and finds the different combinations. Notice that it highlighted the word engine in here, the word engineers, as well as the word engineering. So we have built in some semantics also in our search criteria or applications, so that we can go beyond just the one word that you're typing. So we can find multiple combinations for you. If I reset the search in here just to show you, this is a sample database that we have. It has about 700 documents that you see in here. And when I typed in the word engineer, if you notice, it reduced that data down to, I believe it was 136 documents, right, that found that match. Now, with 136 of them, it's still a lot of data that you're talking about in here, right? So what we provided is some refinement tools that you can see here on the right-hand side. And those refinements could be anything you wanted. That could be reset also or reconfigured to find, like, maybe based on some certain attribute or certain parameter that you find. So we can custom design this or configure this exactly the way you want to through the preference file in here. You can go to refinement, pick on the different categories that you want to look at, and display what you want to search or what you want to refine your search on. So, for example, if I'm doing a date type refinement, if I'm looking for documents that were only created this year, the 136 can come down to 46 by simply just clicking on 2012, and now it's showing me those documents. If 46 is still too much for you and you know some more information about your document, maybe like the file type, right? Maybe the document I'm looking for is a drawing, right? A drawing from like AutoCAD. So I can click on DWG, and now I'm down to from 700 documents down to 6 documents in less than 10 seconds, right? And notice in here, even this is a drawing, a CAD drawing, it still found data, right, or matches for your search right inside the CAD file, right? So now we have 6 documents. We provide you with some information and some highlights where we found that word. And not only that, we also give you a little thumbnail in here on the side so you can determine very quickly if that's the document that you're looking for or not, right? Not only in here we can search for 2D documents and text and picture type documents, we can only search for 3D data and display it. So if you happen to be a engineering or manufacturing type organization and you have CAD data, we have built in a viewer inside our solution that allows you to visualize data from 15 different CAD formats out there, either CATIA, NX, OE, SolidWorks, Inventor, Alias, even down to like step files on IGES files. We could do that as well. So for example, let's say this is some CATIA parts in here. You can simply just click on them and it'll show you all the 3D parts in here. You can click on the thumbnail and it brings up our viewer that we built inside our solution. It takes a couple seconds, well, it depends on how big the file is. It will take a couple seconds in here, then it will bring that file up for you. Once it brings it up, if it happens to be a 3D model, you can zoom in, you can zoom out on the part, you can rotate it in 3D, you can manipulate it, whatever the case might be in here to get what you're looking for. So let's say your organization has manufacturing type operations down on the shop floor, and somebody wants to bring up a part and do some quick measurements on it without having to go back to engineering, find what the part they're looking for, and ask somebody for some measurements. They can do it within a web browser like this and bring up the part and do their measurements without even taking out a CAD license to do that. It's completely indexed outside the system and it's shown inside our viewer. So some of the dimensions that you might be interested in doing in here, let me just show you a couple of capabilities here. It's all interactive. It's very quick. So if I want to dimension the distance in here from this face to this face, I could do that, right? I could measure radii. So if I click on the radius in here like that, whoops. So I could find what the radius is of that circle. I could measure distances even between radii, something like that. If it's between two radii, it'll ask you if you want the dimension to be center to center, center to tangent, tangent to center, or tangent to tangent, whatever the case might be. You could also, position it anywhere you want within the drawing. Other things you could do in here is markup, right? So if you are in a design review type session, you can manipulate this, measure, and add some markup. So this, for example, if I wanted to put a little circle around this and say something like change this radius to, R5, right? You could do something like this and take that node and actually save it, do a save as in here, and either put it in a PDF type format or in a TIFF type format to exchange it with your team later on. Some additional stuff you could do in here is create some sections also within your part. So if I wanted to go ahead and show a sectional cut of this particular part, I could manipulate it dynamically in here to show the inside dimensions or shapes of my part. I could do that as well right from here. If your part happens to be an assembly, let me find an assembly in here for you. Reset the search and show you maybe a SolidWorks, maybe an assembly part, something like this oil pump in here. And load it up in the system again. Sorry, that one did not load up. Okay. Sorry, the assembly is not loading up for some reason in here, but you can load up some assembly parts, and in the assembly parts you can actually manipulate. We have like what we call the assembly browser, and in the assembly browser you can turn on and off some parts that can so you can manipulate exactly what you want to see within your design. All right. One other thing that I wanted to show you in here before we leave our web interface for searching, you can do some Boolean type operation on search as well. So if I reset the search in here, and I did a search on engineer just a while ago, and notice that the 700 documents now they're going to come down to 136. If you're comfortable and you want to use Boolean type operation like and or, you could do that right in the search field in here and say, like, I want to search engineer and California, for example, right? And notice that the 136 now, they're going to come down quickly to a smaller number, 13 in this case, and it highlights those two words in there in the documents that it finds for you. You can take that search, by the way, and save it. So if this is something that you use all the time, you could click on Save Search and give it some kind of name, like Engineers in California. And save that search. And once you save it, then this search appears in this drop-down menu. So let's say, for example, again, you're starting off with your full database of 700 searches. You can simply just go in here and pick that search that you saved before, and within seconds you're down to the 13. So if this is something that you use all the time, you could use it. We can also display that search, and now it shows as a separate tab. So you can have multiple tabs up here that it can go back and forth between your full database of 700 results, or you click on that tab and it quickly shows you the 13 results again that you're looking for. All right. From there, I would like to show you next is the AutoCAD embedded solution. So this same solution in here that I'm showing you, we have embedded that in the AutoCAD software. So if you are an AutoCAD user that predominantly works within AutoCAD and would like to have that search capability right from within the AutoCAD software, you can have that without even leaving the software itself. So this is the AutoCAD interface. We've added this Alcove9 in here drop-down menu on the search. It comes back with a login screen just like we did on the web. And as soon as you hit the login button, it comes up with the login interface, and you can log in. It remembers your credentials from the last time you logged in. And once it verifies your credentials, then it gives you the search mechanism. My login is not working for me now. Sorry about this technical difficulties. Maybe because I was logged in before and I tried to log in one more time. Let me try it from scratch again. But as this is coming up in here, I'll talk a little bit about the different searches that we have. We currently have connectors to multiple databases. AutoCAD is one of them in here that can actually go in and search for your text on top of the drawing. So if you have 2D drawings that you need to search for text on it, either in the title block or anywhere within the drawing, we can do that for you. If you need to connect to some kind of proprietary database like Innovia, we actually can go in there, or the Vault or Smart Team or Team Center. We can go in there and extract that data for you so you can search it right from within a web browser, right? One other thing while this AutoCAD in here is coming up in here, I can go here and back to the web interface. One capability that we have is what we call a virtual profile card. Virtual profile card for some file types like CAD files, if they happen to be an assembly that has references to some other drawing, we can expose that right in what we call in here a virtual profile card. So if you look at the virtual profile card in here, we show the attributes that are exposed in the system, any related data to that particular file, any composed of data. This particular floor plan for the 8th floor has also embedded in it the 8th floor furniture drawing, the HVAC, the lighting, the plan, the plumbing, the power. So you can actually look at different links between your drawings or assembly links right within the software without having to bring up the actual CAD file and interrogate it. You could look at where used. If this particular 8th floor was used somewhere else, it will show up on this tab, like this HVAC, for example, in here. If I look at the virtual product card, it shows me that the floor HVAC is used in the 8th floor drawing, the one I just had opened in here a second ago. All right. The AutoCAD in here came back. Let me see if I have a better luck right now. It looks like we are in. And after you logged in, again, it verifies your credentials. You can click on the search button in here, and it remembers the last search you have done, or it could also type in whatever you want. Just to show you in here that this is looking exactly at the same thing that we were looking at from the web, I'm going to type in that engineer and California search that I typed in the web, and if I hit the search button, notice that it found in here the 13 documents that I was looking at also in the database, right? And it finds everything for me. Although this is AutoCAD, it finds a PowerPoint, it finds a document, it finds PDF. But if you wanted only to find AutoCAD particular document, you just click that box and it'll show you what the AutoCAD documents you have in your database that matches this string. So let me go ahead and type one that I know is there. Power is the one, and it shows me again the 8th floor lighting drawing. If I have something called like the HVAC, the same thing comes up depending on what drawing you have. Once the drawing comes up, you can click on it. You can see again a thumbnail in here showing you what it looks like, so you can determine which one you want before you open it up. It shows you some attributes also about it to further help you find what you're looking for. If that's the one you're looking for, simply you hit the open button and it opens that particular drawing right inside your AutoCAD session. Once it opens it up, you can, if there is even a certain kind of text that you're looking for that you want to search on, you can select that text and search on it as well. Let me demonstrate that on another drawing in here. This is the plumbing drawing that I was referring to earlier. If I look at this particular detail in here, you can see there is a text in here that talks about the 4-inch wide riser. If you go in and select that text, you can actually hit the right mouse button and you can see we built in a search in here for Alcove9 right from the drawing. So you don't even have to type the search string that you're looking for. If you have it on a drawing, you can just select it. It substitutes that in there. You can edit it if you have to. If this is, you're just looking for the word riser in there, you can edit that in there, and it'll show you wherever that word appears. The good thing about this also is that you can execute that virtual product profile card right from here. So before you open it, if you want to look at the attributes, related data, composed of, that's in Autodesk terminology, it's called the XREFs. So you can look for your XREFs right in here. You can look at where it's being used also right there without even having to open the file, so you can further determine if that's what you're looking for or not. You can insert that as, attach it as an extract also inside your current drawing, or insert it as a block if you choose so. So with that, that concludes the demo that we have. I want to go back to the PowerPoint in here just so that we could show you how our products are obtained. You can tell from our demo in here how easy it is to use our product. It's not just easy to use, it's also simple to install, has hardly any kind of disruption to the implementation itself, has hardly any kind of disruption for your teams because it's easy to use, easy to train, and we do not require any costly data migration because we use your data as is. We don't move any data for you. The product itself is offered on an annual subscription basis, and we made it so easy for you that you pick options and you pick tiers to figure out how you want to use our product. The two options that we have in terms of support subscription is Gold and Platinum. The Gold contains the frequently asked questions section on our community board, a knowledge-based type community board that has answers to a lot of questions and a lot of other situations that that we came across or your fellow users of the Alcove9 suite of products have come across. It includes maintenance, hot fixes, and bug fixes, and whatever the case might be with our software, and future upgrades, of course. From a help desk situation, we include a help desk ticket system that's online, plus a chat and phone support is also included. The Platinum level subscription includes exactly the same thing as Gold. The only additional thing that we have with Platinum is any services associated with software upgrades. So if we upgrade our software or any other software that we connect to gets upgraded, or you decide to upgrade to the next level, any kind of services associated with that to get you up and running are included in the Platinum subscription. The A9 suite of products and solutions, the way we architectured that is the A9 Hub is the web interface that I showed you, is the foundation that does all the indexing and the interface. Everything that you see on the periphery is an add-on. So if you have some kind of proprietary system or a PLM system or requirement management that you want us to connect to in order to retrieve data and find data for that in one place, we could then you start just adding on these connectors that allows you to connect to the different data sources. The A9 Hub itself, as I said, is offered as not only an option, Gold and Platinum type subscription, but it's also tiered. So we start off by the 5-user tier, then we go to 50, 100, 250, 500 users, then unlimited. If you have any more than 500 users, it's an unlimited type solution. So we do not have a per user type subscription. It's based on those 5 tiers that I just mentioned. The A9 CAD Viz, that's the CAD visualization. It does require the A9 Hub subscription. As I said, it's the foundation. But the A9 CAD Viz is offered per server. It doesn't matter how many users you have. For the tier that you have subscribed to, you will get that many licenses of CAD Viz so that everybody in your shop or in your organization can open any CAD file and view it. Also, this CAD Viz solution is offered on a Gold and Platinum type subscription. The A9 App Connect, including the AutoCAD that I just showed you, the embedded AutoCAD, is also offered on a per server type options. So Again, it doesn't matter how many users you have. It depends on the A9 Hub subscription, the tiered subscription I described, and also comes with a gold and platinum type subscription. So that's the total software solution that we have for your on-premise search needs. At this point, I'm going to open it up for questions. So please have your questions ready in the panel as Chris described earlier. So I'll give you guys a couple minutes to put your questions in.
Thank you, Sam. We do have a couple questions this afternoon. The first one is, can I get live access to the live demo site?
The answer is yes. On our website, www.alcove9.com, right on the landing page, you'll see there is a link to a live demo. So you can click on that and then follow the instructions to get a login request. And once you get the login, you can hit our servers and you can see how, for yourself, how this product works.
Okay, very good. How does Alcove9 affect my server's security settings?
It does not affect or change any kind of security settings that you have. We actually inherit the same access control list that you have, same security settings. We read that and watch also or monitor it every time it gets modified so that we can mash that those settings with the data that we mine. So, for example, if a certain user is not allowed to see certain data in a certain folder or a certain database, those results will not even show up in the search.
Okay. All right. I think I have one more. How can I avoid data duplication?
Very interesting question. We talked earlier about data redundancy and how people recreate stuff because they can't find it, right? That's the major reason or cause that we have seen for data redundancy or data recreation, because people can't find it. That's why they recreate it. So if we can help them find it, we in essence have avoided creating redundant data. And we are enhancing reuse. A lot of companies also want to enhance reuse so people are not recreating. So by virtue of finding everything that you have, whatever you need, whenever you need it, regardless of content, format, or location, we in essence are helping any kind of reuse initiative that corporations have.
Okay, very good. I think that is all the questions for today, Sam. Thank you so much. Great job. Everyone, we do have a recording of today's event, and it will be on our website, adaptivecorp.com. Also, if you'd like to print a copy of our PowerPoint presentation, please visit alcove9.com. We have our contact information up on the screen at this time. And thank you so much for joining us today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye, everyone.